Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode with Dr. Vic here on the Mindful Experiment. Today we're talking about the small things in life. That's right, folks, the boring stuff, the things that most people don't like to do, the things that people don't want to focus on. They just want the big result, the big thing, the big goal, the big vision. If it comes to health, you want that quick fix, that instant gratification. That's what we're looking for. It's not chipping away at something. It is truly wanting the big thing. You want to be a millionaire, and you want to be a millionaire now, not tomorrow. You want to have no more pain, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but today, right here, right now. And it's truly about the little things. The little things is what makes the big things happen. It's a cliche, but it's true. You save your pennies, and if you keep saving them over a period of time, you can become a millionaire. If you work out consistently over a period of time and you chisel away little at a time, you'll have the best body you ever wanted. If you eat healthy, little at a time, your body will go ahead and respond in that way, and you'll become healthier. The key thing is that why is it like that? What's the rules? What's the thing that governs us that it just says this is how it is? It's the law of life. This is one of the rules. And it's the rule of being a human. It's the rule of being a human being. And when we look at this law, it's the law of time and space. We are experiencing a physical reality. We are experiencing being a spiritual being, experiencing what it is to be human. And unfortunately, and it's for good reason, things have to go through time and space before it becomes a reality. You have to invest in now, and you have to invest in now continually over time, which correlates with the law of consistency, in order to truly create the life, whatever vision it is you want. And I've gone through this, and there's times where, my coach has to recenter me back and get me back in place, and he always hits me back with the small things. Get back to the small things and focus on a small victory. What's one thing you could do today to be a victory for today and today only? And it's a great reminder for me because there's times, hey, I'm human. It happens to me. I'm getting better at this, where I'll get overwhelmed. I'll just put too much on my plate. And it'll take me a little bit of time to course correct. It'll take me a little bit of time to get back to being centered and focused to the vision. And when you do something like that, you recenter and refocus and get back on course, boom, you come with even more energy. And the cool thing is if I just kept my mind focused on the small things, I would never ran into that issue. And he shared a great analogy with me that I'm going to share with you guys, and that is, if we're walking down the street and we're just taking a walk and you have sirens going off, there's cars are passing by and all this noise, and that's all we hear. And then all of a sudden, over time, you start to hear no noise, no sound, no nothing, and you hear just the birds chirping away. Would you believe that the birds were chirping there all the time and that the noise of the cars just drowned them out? Yeah, right? It's the same thing with your vision and your goals and your dreams. They're there. They're always there. They don't go away. You just let the distractions of life get to you. You let distractions pull you away. You focus on the noise instead of what it is the vision of what you desire. So when it comes to your life, no matter what it is, you always want to look at what is a small victory that I can take on today. What's one thing I can chip away from? It's going to be those small things that are going to take it to the next level. We were talking, and he's a Cardinal fan. I'm a Cub fan, so this is fun how we have a unique relationship here. But one of the cool things he was sharing some tips with me about, uses a lot of baseball analogies because I get baseball very well. And one of them talked about how the St. Louis Cardinals in 2017 and the Cubs had the exact same record except when they faced each other, right? You take away the games that they played against each other, they had an exact same record. So what he was talking about is that how important it is. People say, well, you may have lost the series. That's okay. You got swept. That's fine. Move on next. The key is every day you gotta focus on winning just that game, right? In baseball, every day. It's 162 games. You have to focus every single day when you're playing just to focus on that game. This game is a big game. Even though it's a small thing, it's going to create big results later on. And that's what happened in 2017. The Cubs outbeat the Cardinals And that's why I ended up in first place with NL Central for the third year in a row. Take that, Cardinal fans. It's our time to enjoy this. But long story short, that's the kind of concept when you look at your life. It's the small victories. It's the small things. It's just this small. You can take this as small as you like. For me, if I get up early, I do my morning ritual. I meditate. I do my breath work. I write a note letter video to my wife telling her how much I love and appreciate her. I focus on my body, taking care of that, my mind. And I just do these things every single day. That already moved the needle towards victory. Now, whatever I do is going to take it to the next level. And that's where I focus on one victory, where I go ahead and do whatever I'm going to hammer out when it comes to my podcast, my Empower Your Reality business, when it comes to the wellness path and my chiropractic office and the other things that I do. It's one thing. That's what it takes to create the big things, guys. You have to focus on the small. You have to really look at it because, again, there's the law of time and space. And I call it a law because it's just what it is right now. And you have this time it has to take, and you have to move through space, enough of it, to where it can become a reality. And you have to just take the moment to understand, okay, what are the little things I can do today? Just one little thing that can just move me closer. If you did that for 365 days, how close will you be to your goal? Hell, you probably would hit it already. That's the beauty behind this. It's like, I love seeing pictures of when you see like a plant break through cement, find a way to get through. It didn't just plow right through and it grew. It took little bits of time. Or what amazes me even more about nature is how a tree, we have some in my house before we put a fence in, there was a ton of mulberry trees, small ones, just wrapped all over the place. And in the back of our house, where we're met to the other neighbor's yard, they had a chain link fence. And what blew my mind is how these tree trunks, literally, they're not that big. They're probably about maybe 3-4 inches thickness, would weave itself in and out through the chain links to get up to the top. And I look at that, and I always take a moment, and sometimes I'll meditate on it and just go, man, they didn't just weave real quick. They didn't break through. They took their time trying to figure out little victories on how they can get up to the top. Things take time. Grass doesn't instantaneously just grow. You don't plant seeds and the plant just instantaneously grows. You don't have sperm meet egg and instantaneously there's a baby born, ready to go. There's time and space and everything in nature. You look at nature. Nature has the answers. Native Americans respected nature to the sense that they knew that it can teach us things and give us answers, deep wisdom of what we seek. And today's world, we depend more on man than we do on nature. And we don't trust nature in a sense. We think there's just evil things out there that are going to get us. But in all reality, nature can teach us a lot of things. And when you see patterns in nature, know that that's just how nature has figured that out for a reason. And humans are not separate from nature. We are part of nature. We need to reconnect to that. And so long story short, when you look at nature, when it looks at, how long does it take when you eat food, you don't instantaneously eat food and you poop it out. There's a process. There's a breaking down. There's a time and space it has to take. And everything in life, everything in the physical world has time and space. So when you're looking at your life and you're trying to, let's say, as a chiropractor, we have patients come in our office and they want to be out of pain. They want to be out of pain like this, right? Everyone wants that instant gratification. Some people say, I'm going to put it in my mind in a month I should be out of pain. And some people it takes 3-4 months. Some people it takes a year. Some people it takes a year and a half because of their where they're coming from in their life and their stresses, their lifestyle stresses, the accumulation, the things that they've been dealing with, what they're dealing with now. There's all these factors. But then if we don't, that pain, those issues, those things didn't happen overnight. It was an accumulation process that built up within you. Cancer, heart disease, those are accumulation processes. Degeneration, arthritis. Research shows 7 to 15 years for arthritis to show up on an x-ray. 7 to 15 years it had to accumulate. Time and space. It happens everywhere in nature, even with your health. Your health is the most simple way to use it, but the problem is with instant gratification, like for example, when it comes to weight loss, people want to lose all the weight they want in 2 to 3 months. Like, I lost 30 pounds, this stuff works. Okay, how much really is weight loss there? Is it took how long did it take you to gain that weight? Let's focus on how much it's going to take to lose. How about we just focus on, what's the little things you can do every single day and don't focus on the weight. When it comes to exercise, same thing. Just do the work that you can do every single day. You don't have to go to the gym 7 days a week. You can do a walk. Yesterday, I was going to work out, and then my wife's like, let's go for a walk. And I'm like, you know what, let's go. And it was not the typical type of walks we like because we had our dog and he was sniffing like crazy. But I got out and I moved a little bit. And I said, well, I'll take that as a light day for exercise. And some people go, that's not even working out. Well, I'm letting my body rest a little more. Today, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hammer a strong workout, fatigue my body out as much as I can. The thing is, as long as I'm getting movement in every single day, again, that's a victory. That's a victory for me, my body, and my mind. So it's those little things that you can grasp in your life and focus on that one thing and move forward. The little things is what makes the big things, guys. It's just the way it is. And the reasoning behind that is through time and space. We have time and space that has to happen, in order for something to exist. You just don't go to school. Like for me, I didn't go to school and thought I was going to be a chiropractor, and boom, instantaneously I was. I had to go through time, I had to go through space in order to make that a reality. And so when you look at your life, when you look at the goals, when you look at things you want to achieve, whatever is happening in your life right here, right now, overwhelmed, not overwhelmed, whatever it is, refocus. Focus on the small things that you can do today. Don't overload yourself and say, I didn't get enough done. Don't be that driver, crazy workaholic like I used to be. Instead, focus on what is that 1, 2 things that you can hammer out that can move you closer to your goals. And then just have fun with it and keep doing the little small things. What's the next thing you can do the next day? What's the next thing you can do the following day? What's the next thing you can do the following day after that? What's the next thing? How you want your week to look in the end of the day? How do you want to look at the end of the month? And then when you start mapping this out, it really makes life a lot simpler. And I'm telling you guys, for me, a guy who is a very high driver, I'm a task-oriented individual, type A personality, where if I don't feel like I got a lot of things done, I was not having a successful day. I was not productive. And for me, still to this day, I have to work on this. There comes times in my life where I have to take a step back and go, hold on, this is the one thing I'm focusing on, and that's it. And it drives me nuts sometimes because I'm like, I could do so much more though. But it's like, I got the victory. I hammered this out really well. Let's just accept the victory. Tomorrow, let's set another one. Let's set what the goals will be, and let's just hammer that out. And know that this is a marathon. It's not a destination. It's not something to happen overnight. I did a podcast very similar to this called the 10,000 miles starts with the first step. Check out that podcast as I dive a little bit into more of this about the small things. But in this podcast, I just want to it was a focus I had for me that was happening in my life. And I thought, well, what a great way to share this with you guys through our podcast here. And how, again, I'm not perfect. And some people look at somebody and think, oh my God, they're not human at all. They don't have any issues. And, you share these stuff. I'm one to tell you that I am flawed and I'm learning and I'm growing and expanding in areas of my life. I make mistakes just like anybody else. And, but I learn from those mistakes and I grow from those mistakes. Because I always say you never make the same mistake twice. That's a rule that I live by. I don't mind making a mistake once. I have no problem with that. But if I make the same mistake twice, now I have an issue. I'm not learning from it. I'm not growing from it. I'm not being mindful in that process. And so that's when I tell people, mistakes are okay. Just don't make the same mistake twice. That means you're not focusing enough. You're not really taking in the lessons of which you can learn from it. So I hope, this as you come along here at the end of this podcast, one of the things to really focus on is the small things, the small victories, the things that you want to move, grow, and change. How are you going to focus on the little things that you can do every single day, no matter what it is? Look at the 7 factors to your life. When you look at your life, look at it in a spiritual context. Now, this can be religion, this can be meditation, this can be purpose-driven, this can be whatever it is. It's your spirit, it's your essence of who you are. You look at your mental health, you look at your physical health, you look at your career, you look at your social, family, and see if I missed anyone here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's another one in there, but these are kind of the concepts when you look at these perspectives. You want to look at your overall physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your social, family, career, and I always forget the 7th one, so I apologize. I'll put it in the notes so you guys have all 7 there. But long story short, those are the things that you want to look at and set. What are the things you can do to win a victory? If you have kids, spending 30 minutes uninvited attention with my children today. With my wife, I wanted to, spend 30 minutes with her or send her a note, a little video, or whatever it may be. But you set these little victories that you can do every single day that build success in every little relationship. Because, to be honest, guys, it's life's all about the balance, and we all have these different factors of our life. And the key is, how do you keep those in balance? And if you just try to do the big things every once in a while, it's going to be very up and down. But if you do the small things every single day, you will achieve the big things, and it'll become easier to do. You'll have more fulfillment in your life. You'll feel more inspired to do things. And it's just overall, things just come all together. So focus on the small. Don't get too hung up on the big, because the small things is what creates the big stuff.